Hey guys, it's bro YOU WACK. So Ashe has been on PTR for a hot minute now, which allowed me to get familiar with her, get my hands on her, no pause on that, but more importantly, get an opinion on how well she's going to fit in the Overwatch hero roster. Because I feel like a lot of the time people think that the new Overwatch hero is going to suck, is going to be completely useless. But with so many people along with myself, I feel like people aren't really saying that with Ashe because she's going to have a spot in Overwatch. However, what I want to talk about today in today's video is that she's going to be the #1 DPS hero, and I already made a video talking about if she's going to be broken, but I really want to compare her to other heroes. Like, why use a Doomfist when you can use an Ashe? Why use a Soldier when you can use an Ashe? Why use a McCree when I want to compare it to all other heroes because that's going to be the most important factor when deciding, okay, is she really the #1 DPS hero to use? But another thing that you also have to remember is how well she's going to fit in the current meta right now. If all things stay the same, which they are aside with the addition of Ashe, GOATS is going to be still running rampant. It's going to be the #1 way to win Overwatch games. Why? Because there's not a lot of tank busters. However, there is one thing changing that could possibly stop GOATS. It's Ashe, if you didn't already know that. It's Ashe. So is she going to be the #1 DPS hero to really stop that meta, to crumble that kind of composition? And that's something you need to remember. And from what I've seen and from what I played and what I'm kind of guessing is going to happen, she's not only going to be a great DPS hero, but besides Reaper, probably another great tank buster for many different reasons. A big reason why I think she's going to be a great tank buster, maybe not as great as Reaper, but definitely better than some of these other DPS heroes, is because of her TNT ability, or dynamite, whatever you're gonna call it. Because when you throw it like out in the open and you fire it, and whoever is in the vicinity of that TNT, not only will it do damage, but it'll also burn armor, and over time it will not only be able to kill the tanks a little bit faster because you have that burning effect, but you're also going to be able to kill the healers that are in the back line that think they're so protected. Because remember, you're going to throw your TNT, and if you practice enough, if you angle it enough, and if you're mechanically gifted enough, you're going to be able to not only hit the tanks because they're at the front lines, but also splash it across all the back line, which is where their healers are at. And if you do enough damage, then you can easily just completely delete them. But keeping that in mind, along with assuming that GOAT composition is still going to be running rampant, another thing that you also have to consider is how GOAT composition really works. Because the reason why it's so good is because it pretty much just bomb rushes everyone that's in the ground at the forefront. That includes the Ryan, that includes the McCree, that includes the Zenyatta, the Ana, whatever the case may be. If they're hiding behind the Ryan shield and they're not really ready for these big giant tanks to rush in, well, yeah, they're gonna probably die. However, with Ashe, she's not going to be at the front line. She's not even going to be at the back line. She's going to be in the far, far, far back line. Why? Because that's where she excels at. So that really means that GOATs aren't really gonna be touching her. Yes, maybe a Diva will be able to dive her, maybe a Winston, because that is part of GOATs. However, another great thing about Ashe is that she's able to kind of push herself away from everyone that's diving her. The reason why I keep harping about GOATs when talking about Ashe is because this is what you need to consider when picking your DPS player and what's currently working right now. And the way that it is right now, assuming that she's not going to get nerfed and assuming that Moira's not going to get nerfed, or Brigitte, or any of these other heroes, Ashe is going to be an ideal hero to not only stop the GOAT composition, but at least hang with the GOATs, because she can either kill them, catch them on fire, get herself away from it, or just kill their back lines so that they can't build all that ultimate charge. When it comes to Genji, when it comes to Soldier, when it comes to McCree, which a lot of people are comparing Ashe to McCree, I mean, who can blame them? They're both hit scan, they're both cowboys, but when you compare Ashe to not only McCree, but all those other heroes, you have to think, well, in the current meta, why can those heroes not hang? Or what's the issue with those kind of heroes? Well, you gotta think, with McCree, he has no mobility, he has high damage, but he has no way of sustaining himself. With Soldier, he has very low damage, and yes, he has mobility and can sustain himself. Genji, he's just a fragile little boy. Then you look at Ashe and be like, wow, she's kind of thick. I mean, what? She has a lot of answers when it comes to the current meta. And I know I just keep mentioning the meta, that GOAT coming, the meta, that Ashe, Bob is thick, but this, and that. But what I really wanted to get at was answering that question. Is she going to be the #1 DPS? Well, when it comes to just her being her, she's great. Okay, she has high mobility, high damage. She can not only throw TNT to get a lot of overtime damage, but also burn armor. On top of that, Bob is also great too. And that's also another thing I forgot to mention when it comes to Ashe and the Go composition, is that Bob can not only go in and do a lot of damage, but he can also break up everyone that's behind the Rein shield. Just break up all these goats, because now it's an added hero in a sense that people are going to get distracted with. But real quickly, going back to what I was saying before, Ashe compared to all these other DPS heroes, there are problems, there are issues. Even when it comes to Reaper, who is kind of an underrated hero even right now in Season 13, when it comes to Ashe, she can do all those things, and on top of that, deal with the meta. She is not a bad hero to deal with the current meta right now. But is Ashe going to be the #1 DPS? Is she going to be this broken hero? Is she going to be the most OP hero, similar like how Brigitte was, and probably still will be for a very long time? I think so. It's very rare that I ever say, well, yeah, I truly feel like she's going to be a hero that will either have a place, or even probably what will happen is just replace these other heroes. Replace the hit scans for sure, but also replace the idea of, well, why play Tracer? Why play Genji? Why play this hero? Why play that? Because she can not only be a great DPS, but also just a long-range quote-unquote tank buster. Again, that's not going to be her main job, but that's kind of the way that I see her. She's going to be the jack of all trades in the DPS category of heroes. She has great, heavy, high DPS, but also high mobility to the point where she's not going to need that sustainability because, well, she can either go back to her healers or just rely on health packs. And that's why I think Ashe is not only going to be a great DPS, probably the #1 DPS, but also a good hero to consider when it comes to the current GOAT composition. But let me know what you think. What do you think about Ashe? Do you think she's not going to be able to hang? Just let me know. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.